In this new series called Fix My Build, I take a viewer's factory from boring to not boring. So in this series called Fix My Build, I take user factories and I either try to fix something that is completely broken, or I try to make a mundane build as interesting as I can. Anybody can submit their world. All you have to do is just join my Discord and go to the Fix My Build section. So in this build, we've got a steel factory from the early game that we're going to try and make interesting. Right, let's take a look at this building. So this is the ground floor, obviously. They've got stairs going up this way, but they also have cables every which way. These power cables. Alright, so it looks like they've got industrial, encased industrial beams. Cool. They've got a sink in here for overflow, I would guess. We've got a couple of foundries. This is going to be steel ingots. As you can see, it's quite dark down here. Very little light coming in anywhere. This entire area is essentially just closed off. We've got a bunch of stuff coming out. We've got a little door here. Oh. Okay, so this is going to be iron ore. Probably coal. Yeah, there's the coal coming in from that side. Okay. It's not bad. Let's go check out the first floor, or second floor. Alright, got this little nook here. It's kind of nice. Little vantage point. Okay, they've got constructors going every which way. These guys are doing beams. These guys are doing pipes, and concrete. Alright, so they've got some... So there's a little bit of light coming in here from this one strip, but it's not even close to enough. There's another one over here. So the first thing is they're going to need a lot of light, and this roof is definitely going to have to go. Not a big fan of the look of this roof. Let's exit this side and have a look on. Yeah, this roof doesn't do it for me at all. It's just a bit bland. Got some flickering going on there. Okay. Well, one good thing is they didn't cut these trees down, which is good because you can incorporate this into a build. Alright, let's turn this build into something sexy. And first thing that's going to happen is this roof 100% has to go. Alright, let's boop the roof and move on. Okay, and just like that, the roof is gone. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to also remove all the walls. And but I'm going to leave the production floor as is, just so we can kind of see what we're working with. And there we go, all the walls are gone. So now we've got a much better idea of what's going on here. And we can see what's going where. And right, so this tree here, which is kind of cool, they left this here, and I think that's an excellent idea. So we're going to try and kind of incorporate this into a build and incorporate it. But we're going to have to move the sink though. Alright, so I'm going to leave the sink here for now. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up the power and just remove all of these power poles. So let me quickly do that and I'll jump back as soon as I'm done. Okay, with the power poles now gone, there's a couple options we have. We can do I think we're going to do the one with the beam across. So I'm going to build a beam and we're going to lay it across and we're going to attach all the power to that, make it look nice and neat. Okay, so let's make a quick blueprint. So I'm going to grab this constructor just for the height. And I'm only going to do the corner, so I'm going to duplicate it on the other side. So in the blueprint maker we can make this perfect and we can make it look real nice. So we can have it just about the same height as this power point here. This is a little bit too close. Let me just move this back. And from here you just connect it in. I think it's actually going to be a little bit closer than that, but let me get this beam done and then we'll save this as a corner piece and I can just attach it in. So right, so for this beam section I'm actually going to do 2 layers. So you can overlay 2 items on top of each other like I'm currently doing right now. So just trim that top off. And I kind of wonder what kind of color scheme we could go for. So they've got white, they've got orange there in the back. So we can probably do like a white and an orange and some sort of darker color. But anyway, so let's get this corner right. So the one thing you don't want to do on these corners, you don't want to go perfectly 45. Because there's currently a bug in the game where you can't nudge. If it's a true 45 corner, you can't nudge up and down, which is really annoying. But what we can do though is we can go slightly off from 45, so anything above or below. So in this case I'm going to do it, let's give it a shot. I'm going to lessen the corner a little bit. Right, so we can add this little section in here, twist it in so we can get the corners in. And the way you want to go from this corner to the other side is you don't want to do it like this, because then you're going to have those 2 gaps. So you can see the gap right there. Let me just cancel that section. Right, so you can see that gap there. So that's the problem. But if you look close, you'll see that the beam actually connects in the middle, right there, on both ends. So what you want to do is you want to change that center point to be higher. So you want to attach a point there, and then one over here. So you basically, because the beams are going to snap in the middle, you want to change the center point of the beam that's going to remain. So these are just temporary ones. So you're going to go from this top one's center point to the other one's center point, and then nudge it down. And then you just remove the little temporary bits, and there you go. Alright, so doing the second one's going to be a little tricky. Oh, I should have left those other ones in. Let me just, hold on, let me replace them. So you got the top one, nudge it out. This one, just nudge it outwards. And now we've got our snap point, so we're going to snap it in. But you'll see now this one doesn't want to snap in, because the problem is the corners where they meet on both ends now has multiple items, more than 2. So it doesn't want to clip in there because you're trying to place too many items in one location. So one way you can kind of get around that is to operate from the middle out. So not like this. You can see like I went from wait, hold on a second, let me just double check this again. So I'm going to go from there. Okay, that still doesn't want to snap. So I'm going to go from the middle to that edge. It's a little tricky to find that, but you'll see it does snap there. So once you got it, just nudge it down, and there you go now. So now it's perfect. So the starting point seems to matter when it comes to placing multiple items, especially if they overlap. So on this one, we're just going to do the same as the other one, but just in reverse. So we're going to go from the middle out. That's okay, that one snapped easily. Turn it, nudge it, and place it. Boom, you're done. Now we can remove the temporary one. So we've got our old template, and let's paint this. So right, so we're going to do the darker color top side, and the face side we're going to keep orange, just to kind of match it. So yeah, I think we'll stick with this. Let me save this one, and we can start placing the first ones. Alright, so let's get this one in position. I just want to see where we're going to put it. I think, yeah, that's going to be fine. Alright, I'll place the second one down, and now all we need to do is just middle mouse that beam, and then just drag it across. Make sure you got the orientation the same. I'm going to keep it to default so it doesn't go all over the place. It's just short. Okay, easy fix. Just do that. I'm going to grab the top one so we don't have to paint the beams afterwards. Let me just do a little bit of that, and there we go. Just drag it all the way across and attach it on that side, and pretty much that's it. So that's kind of the idea we're going to go for. And then you just connect the power. So just grab the power and just connect it to the closest bit, and you got it, and it's going to look fairly neat. So it looks kind of unique. Instead of all the poles everywhere, you've got this beam here, and it looks way more intentional as opposed to the poles which look like, well, you didn't really have an option, so you just slapped a bunch of poles in there. So that's gonna, I think that's gonna look good. So we're just gonna connect the other bits, and then we're probably gonna run power through the floor once we connect all of these. So and then that should be good. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. So what we'll do is we'll just run power down on this side, and I think we'll connect it here, and then right on the floor, and then later on we'll connect this one again. Okay, there we go. You know what? This orange isn't working for me. The dark is nice, but the orange is a little, I don't know. It just doesn't work. So let's go try the white. So white and orange. See, no, let's do. I'm gonna go with black and white. So we'll try and match the machines, which is predominantly like a white color and a darker color, just the actual machine. Yeah, and I think no. Let's go with the black on. Yeah, definitely black on the outside. I was trying a couple things, but that's just gonna look so much better. I think that kind of looks a bit classier. It just looks much better. So you can see the machines have got a little bit of orange in there. That's kind of what I was going for, but it doesn't work on the bigger scale. So the orange is only like a little accent pieces on the machines themselves. So I think having the beam entirely orange is just gonna be too much. So we'll go with the darker color, kind of like a dark gray, and then white. I think that's gonna work quite nicely. All right, let's just get these last little bits in. Alright, let me change the blueprint as well so I don't have to repaint this every time. Save this bad boy. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to quickly do the other ones, and once I'm done, I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright. And we're back. Alright, so this actually looks really nice. So I think the white was a good choice, and you can see this looks way more intentional than with the power poles that just kind of look almost haphazardly placed, and even though they were lined up and everything. But I think the beams just, it makes it look, like I say, more intentional, a little bit more classy. So that looks quite nice. Okay, so the next step is gonna be, I don't want to change the layout of the machines, but I think we're gonna move the conveyors and the mergers and the splitters and just kind of change that up a little bit, give ourselves a little bit more room. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna move all of these a little bit closer, but they're gonna have to go this way around, and then up into that one there. But we're not gonna have room here because of these ones. So if we place this one in here, we're gonna have to do, let's see, smart splitter in here. Yeah, it's not gonna be room. So I'm gonna have to. So let's see. Let me just do this one quickly. Overflows on both sides because we're gonna need to split the steel ingots to the other side. And then everything's gonna go up. So yeah, I wanted to do it like this where I've got the, yeah, kind of like this, but that's not gonna work. It's way too close. So I think we're gonna do the other way around. Okay, let me get back to you guys. I'm quickly gonna do this and I'll show you when I'm done. Alright, so we've placed the beams in here and hooked up all the power. So these guys are going nuts. So the second beam's in, so they look pretty good. So you can see everything's coming through this side and then goes up all along the roof and heads into this merger here. So we've got a splitter over there, and all the overflow will go to the right hand side. Oh, hold on a second. So there we go. Alright, so this one's feeding in. It's going to go up and it's going to feed all of these constructors. And then, so we still need to do the output, but I'll get to that in a moment. But from the smart splitter, the overflow will push over to this side, merge onto this line, and then push into this smart splitter, which will then also have an overflow that then pushes over to those three machines in the back. So if these guys' calculation was correct, then everything should be fine because it's pretty much the same setup, just slightly rerouted. So that should be fine. Everything's yeah, I think everything is working fine. Alright, so I don't think I'm going to touch the inputs. They seem to be fine, the coal and iron lines coming in here. I might change a little bit how they enter. I do like this area. They've got like this little railing to have like a dedicated walkway, which is kind of cool. I don't mind that at all. I want to keep something that resembles that. Alright, so I've redone the output, so you can see these are now nice and neat. I've moved them as close as I can. Connected up all the belts, so I did that one. This line is done, so those pipes and those guys, they're all going to be feeding into this point here. So we're going to check that out in a moment. But for now, all of these are much better, I think. So this line is just going to feed out this side. We're going to push it down underneath. It's going to pop up here, link up with this line. And these all are going to feed down into whatever they've set up down there. Alright, so I've cleaned up a little bit here. You can see this cement line's been moved closer, but I'm pretty much done up here. I don't think I'm going to move anything else. Okay, next up, we need to clear this coal line, this snakily little conveyor. So, I think what I'll do is I'll have... Let me grab a pillar here, because I want to keep this section open for walking around. So I'm going to grab this pillar, and let's just see what height I want to be at. So now let me lower it down a little bit. So alright, so the idea is that the conveyor belt will actually be running on top of this on this pillar. So kind of like this. So that's the idea. So you can see it lines up perfectly. So this height is exactly what we want. So I'm going to remove these, but this point right here, that's our kind of like end point. So that's our line, and we're going to go all the way to that side. So let me show you a trick. So if you want to keep this level, you want to grab a beam and you want to attach it to this end point, and you want to go, say, right in that direction right there. Where is that miner? There it is. So now you can see that this line is up here. It's slightly up, but you want to keep it level. Actually, hold on. Let me exaggerate this a little bit. So I want to have a level point from here. I'm going to touch the beam. I'm going to go straight to that point there. Right, now you can see the beam is much more elevated, so it's fairly high. So if you want to keep this level from the starting point, just grab a foundation and put it right in the middle there. It's going to snap to that center point, and that's going to be 100% level now. So if you nudge it out a little bit, you can start from here. So this foundation is now 100% level. So grab your pillar, put it at the end. Since we know the foundation is level, we can just kind of line this up a little bit. I'm just going to nudge this one down. That should do it. And then from here, your pillars will be moving in that direction that you want it, 100% level. So this is going to be straight all the way down to where we want it. So we're just going to continue on and just run it all the way down. And then this conveyor is going to go straight on top of this. So you've got like a support section for your conveyor. So let me do that and I'll show you what it looks like. So I've taken the pillar all the way to the other side, and then I've just added this framework on top, just over the conveyor belt. I also made this little support section in the blueprint maker, so let's just smash this in here. So this is just meant to kind of support this pillar section here, just so it looks more interesting. Now there's a couple of things we can do here. We can either keep the center bit in as it is now, or we can remove it, and I'm kind of inclined to remove it. So let's see. So if we remove this, yeah, I think that kind of looks a little bit more interesting. And that little bit there as well. Alright, so I'm quickly gonna just smash through all of these, and I'll show you guys what it looks like as soon as it's done. Okay, looking back at it now, you can see it actually looks like something interesting. So instead of just being a conveyor line on the grass, it's actually now a bit more of a feature. So I think that looks kind of cool. I like it. Alright. So we've done a bunch of conveyor lines. I tried to stick everything to the roof here. Let me just redo this little bit here. There we go. So I'm trying to utilize as least amount of space I can. So that's why I'm going to do a lot of the roof stuff. Let's see, this is all working fine. Alright, why is this one not feeding? Oh, I never connected it. Switch it on. Alright, that should feed it now. There we go. Perfect. Okay, it's feeding. So we cleared this walkways going around this area. The foundries are pretty much done. I wonder in this section, I think we'll take everything around this side, kind of like around this corner. Instead of out to the front, we'll just divert everything to the side. So I think let's do like a little bus perhaps. We can have the coal line coming through here as well. So the 3 lines of product plus the coal line coming in. So 3 out and 1 in. Okay, I've done quite a bit now. So as you can see, the bus has been completed. So I've opted for this kind of like glass look so you can see everything moving inside. So you've got everything coming in and then they're popping out at the bottom, getting to their various storages that the guy set up. So we've got the coal line in here as well. And it comes around this side. We've got a couple of supports in here, the glass at the bottom as well, as you can see, and everything pops out here. So we've got all 3 coming in and the coal coming out. So pipes, beams. So we've got that little splitter there. That all the overflow from the steel line goes from this splitter in here. You can see you can see the encased industrial beam going through here. This section here where we're making the encased industrial beams, I pretty much kept it the same. I just kind of like redid the power, added the beam section here, just moved some of the mergers and splitters closer. I kind of redid this line a little bit just to give us a bit more space. But the original way of feeding it is pretty much the same, so I think we're going to keep it like that. Alright, so the next question is, what are we going to do here? So I think we can start adding walls. So we've got a pretty good idea of what the factory layout is now. Everything that has been everything that needed to be moved around has been moved. So this section here, we've got a fairly open section, so we could do like kind of like a car park or like a lobby of some sorts. So we still have to place the sink somewhere. Maybe we could put the sink there, but we'll come back to that in a moment. So as you can see, I've removed most of the power poles, so we're just running these temporary cables right now for power. So let's remove this section here and see what we can do in regards to like this little car park here. So we'll keep the power cable, the temp cables like they are right now. So that's going to be part of it's going to be like the last things that we're going to do before we move on. So let's see what we can do here. Alright, so I wanted to do something with this tree here, so I thought I'll just ring it with these quarter ones and just do like a dedicated area for this tree and just to keep it in there. So I think that kind of works. Not much else we can do really. Anyways, so I'm gonna add these little quarter rounded bits here and we'll see what it looks like, but I think it's gonna finish off the area quite nicely. And I'm just going to continue that kind of like the rounded corner areas around the build. Alright, so I'm going to go stairs here at this entrance. So I'm just going to experiment here. So we can place these ones in. And just have like a big door there. So this is going to be the main entrance. Actually, let me move it a little forward. So just so we can have some room for the doors and the entrance area right behind it. So we're going to put this one there. And let me just fill this gap quickly. There we go. I think that kind of works. So this is going to be our main entrance. Let's just open up this area here. And we're going to grab these rails. I kind of like what they did here with the rails. It's kind of cool. I think the one thing I'll change is I'll place it on top, but I'll nudge it inside. So you've got like this little handrail section going with this safety barrier. So I think that looks kind of cool. One up? No, this will go all the way down. Okay, this doesn't want to nudge. We're going to have to do one at a time. Alright, that's fine. Right, so since this is mostly a steel factory, I kind of wanted these big steel doors. I think it's very fitting, and that's kind of a thing now. It looks like an entrance, so that's kind of cool. On the walls, I think we're going to go with this little glass sections again. We're going to try and see how we can wangle this in here. So I wonder, I think we're going to move this one back a little bit. This is just too far out, so we're going to place it there. Just so the glass sections kind of make sense. Okay, so I'm gonna add this little pillar section here, kind of like a little bit of an overhang, somewhat similar to the style the guys did before, but just a little bit more accentuated. So I think this pillar section, we can take this all the way around, even to the top here. I think we can add this to the roof sections as well. Alright, so this is starting to look like a thing. I like it. It looks like, yeah, this is good. Alright. It does look like a thing. Right, so I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to go all the way around, and once I'm done I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, I've done quite a bit now, so as you can see I've gone all the way around. So these are glass frames or full frame windows. This is going to be all the way around. Right, you can see we've got a couple of entrances here as well, so we've got one access point right here, and we've got the glass going all the way around again. So everything is pretty much the same, going up and down the same. I changed this little corner from a 90 degree to a 45 angle just to make it look a little bit more interesting. So we've got this little open space now, which you can have, I don't know, you can have a barbecue there if you like. Alright, we've got another access door as well, and then going around, just glass all the way around with the pillars kind of leaning out. I still need to kind of fix these doors here, maybe add some doors in there. I'll do something. And then wrapping around all the way to the pillars, we can come back to the front, and this kind of looks very uniform without being 100% symmetrical. So I think it's coming out nice. We've got another door leading out to this roof section, so I want to do something here. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. And then up here we've got this roof section, so I'm going to add like a skylight in here. So we'll do these roof sections. Let's do 2 meters. Let's try the 2 meter one, so the corner. No, the corner bit. There we go. No, I think 2 meters too much. Let's do 1 meter rather. So let me quickly add these in, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, it's going to add these last little bits in, and I think this is shaping up quite nice. So, okay, I think it's time to do the lights inside, just so we can kind of get to the point here. So we're going to add these lights in. We're going to keep it fairly simple. So let's grab the small billboards. So hold control and you can snap it to the roof. Nice and easy. So what kind of light are we going to do here? So we can do the default one, which is the Patriot or the Pioneer's overalls. This isn't too bad. It's like a very soft light. So let's have a look and see what it looks like. Just going to remove all of these, max out the emissions, and no, I think let's rather go like a cool blue, like a cold blue kind of light. Something like this. Yeah, I think this is going to be fine. I'm just going to copy it into all of these. Alright, let's have a look. Yeah, I think this is better. So we might change this, but let's add all the other ones in, and we'll see what the overall effect looks like. Alright, so now we've actually got some light in here. It's looking kind of interesting. Yeah, looks cool. So we still need a way to access this top floor. We could do this section here. We've got to open this section here, so let's put a staircase in here somewhere. No, we've got lights here. Let's try, yeah, we can do it over here. Right, slap this one in here. We can do the normal stairs, so let's see. So if I put this one down, we can go all the way down. We're going to block the door, so we're going to have to divert it a little bit. So we can do this corner piece, and then from here go all the way down to the floor. There's plenty of space behind it to move around. Come on. No, not that one. There we go. That's what I want. Alright, put this one down and see. Yeah, I think this is going to work. It should be fine. And we'll paint it the black color, because I think the white just stands out a little bit too much from stairs. But yeah, this could work. It's a fairly open area, so we might as well utilize it. I'm just going to put a half one in here, and then we'll put some railings across to OSHA and all that, safety regulations. Don't want to piss off OSHA. No, that's not what I wanted. Let's grab this one again, two across, and then we'll paint this black and orange again, instead of black and orange. Probably going to do some on the other side as well. So we'll slap these ones in here, perfect. Okay, I think that works. Yeah, this is fine. I'm happy with that. Right, so I think we need another pair of stairs over here somewhere, so we can squish them in next to this light. So that should work. We'll put a half foundation in there. Right, you just nudge it up a little bit. And we'll grab the same stairs, and I think we'll just go straight down from here. I might have to move that foundation a bit more. Let's see what it looks like. So just nudge this out a little bit. There we go. So we are very close to the light, so that's not ideal, but should be fine. And we'll do the same color scheme again, and obviously we're gonna have to add rails in here as well. Okay, yeah, I think this works. It's a little close to the light, so I think I'm gonna move these lights just a little bit. So I think let's do that. Okay, yeah, that works. I think that's fine. So I'm gonna grab a light here, and we're gonna do the top section as well, and we're gonna get that one done. Okay, that's pretty much it. I don't know, might be a little bit of a dark patch here. What we can do is we can remove the center area, the center like island section, and we can place it or replace it with a concrete floor, and then add the lights into that. So we'll just grab this one. Okay, so I think that works. So we're going to grab this light, and we're just going to place it in the center line of this concrete bit. So, alright. Okay, we've got all of it in, and I think we've got plenty of light. So yeah, this was good. Alright, and we're done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117,
So this build came out pretty good. I'm quite happy with it. The thing is, I didn't want to change too much from the build itself. I wanted to keep the machines in place and just show how somebody would go from a starter factory, kind of like a box factory, to something that's a bit more interesting, something that's a bit more, that just adds more to the world. So a big thank you to Gimmicks. He's one of my community members. He sent me this file. And like I said before, this is open to anybody. So anybody who wants to send me their factory, you can join my Discord. Just log a ticket under the Fix My Build section. In this example, I just tried to make a factory look interesting, as opposed to the kind of more box shape that people tend to do when they start anew. So this doesn't necessarily have to be for decoration. It can also be if you're struggling with a certain system like water, or your coal isn't working as intended. So feel free to submit any of those. And coming back to this specific build, this is a steel one, so you can see these steel beams are kind of, the reason why I added them is because this is effectively a steel factory, doing 3 products: steel pipes, steel beams, encased industrial beams. Yeah, that's it from my side. So, and then as usual, I'd just like to thank my patrons for their continuous support. The Patreon has been growing quite nicely. And I look forward to creating more designs, more blueprint sets. Obviously the world save is available there, so if you want to check out my Patreon and you want to grab some of the blueprints, some of the blueprint sets, makeup prints, or my world save, you can do that on Patreon. And that's it from my side for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.